I don't know if it's working. It's not working. Can you see anything?
I'm clicking on the link now.
Oh, God. I was so worried that's what's going to happen. If people can hear me, I do apologise. If it isn't gone up on the stream, because it looks as though it's not going up on one stream.
This live event will begin in a few moments.
Yeah, but it's not working because it should be something that should be working now. Unless coming soon. Mine does say live. Actually, mine is working by the looks of it. But it will go exactly in. I'm just going to switch it over and just see if it's going to work now. I don't know whether it's actually, it says coming soon, but nothing.
Yeah.
Shall we try?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Let's just see if this is working. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, transition over. No. Right, 5-minute screen. Hello and good evening. Hopefully this is all working correctly now. Let's, if it is, please come through on the comments so we can see what's actually going on. My name is Sophie Summers and welcome to the Crossdressing Lifestyle channel. Now this evening we are going to be doing something that's slightly different, a live step-by-step makeover, and I've called upon the service of Charlotte to give me a bit of a hand this evening. So hopefully she'll be on the other end when I press the relevant buttons here, and I'm going to introduce her straight away. So let's see if we can get on board. You should be there, Charlotte. I don't know whether you are, but you're on my screen.
Hi.
Hello, you all right?
Hi, I'm good.
Good, excellent.
Thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. I just hope that it's working on the other end because it doesn't appear to be at the moment. I can't see anything on YouTube. Can anybody see anything? Can you see anything? Yes, we are. I do apologise to everybody. Yeah, the technical things are all working by the looks of it. Oh, there we go. So let's get things underway. I mean, I'll just very briefly introduce Charlotte there. But the reason why I asked Charlotte to come along this evening was, like a lot of people, I spend quite a bit of time on Facebook and on YouTube, and I was intrigued by your makeovers that you were doing with a particular makeup brand, who I must admit, up until today, I'd never really heard of them. But I was so impressed with the colours and everything else, I thought I'd get in contact with you. And the rest is history, because we're here today and I'm going to try them all out with you. Hopefully one of us will be looking good. I'm sure it's you rather than me, but I'm going to give it a go.
I'm sure you'll look amazing.
Oh, we'll try. First thing I want to do is to start off with having a look at, let me have a look, see what I can have a look at here. I wanted to have a look at the foundations.
Yeah. So I do. I absolutely love these foundations. The thing that I love about them specifically is that they are oil-free. They smell amazing as well when you apply them. They feel amazing. And towards actually the end of actually putting it on, you actually don't even feel like you've got anything on your skin.
Right.
It allows your skin to breathe while like throughout the day, basically. It also has a lot of benefits as well. The benefits are, one, it's anti-aging because it actually contains something called Seniplex Plus.
I think I should have done that years ago. Then it was anti-aging. I think I'm catching up on you
here. So it's anti-aging because of a formula called Seniplex Plus, which is patented to this company. With it being oil-free, it's also water resistant, which obviously is another thing that we're going to be looking for nowadays, especially because you think a lot of women and men now like to go to the gym. You don't want it to be, most of us like to look good when we go to the gym. For some weird reason, we go to the gym to sort of look amazing when we go. But yeah, going to the gym, you sort of put your makeup on, and by the time you come out, you look like a melted mess.
Well, that's that's an advantage, really. I mean, for me, when I go out to clubs and things like that, I get boiling hot, particularly if I'm under a wig and loads of foundation. So, foundation garments. So lots of sort of, how would I say, sort of spray on the top is okay, but it makes you look so you're a shiny beacon. So this will be interesting.
It also helps that you don't need any of the. I know you get things like finishing powders and things like that, which again will help prevent a lot of foundations from coming off. These, again, you don't really need those because it sets as well. So it's not going to smudge off your face either. So even when you're wearing masks now, which is a big thing with everyone, you don't want to have a ton of foundation on your masks. Again, this only has minimal transfer on your masks, which is, again, a bonus to these products. I don't know.
You're going to have to ignore me for a minute. I'm trying to get a head start on you, you see. I've got gallons of stuff to put on my face.
See, for me, like, I like to do my eyes first. So I'll let you do that first.
Well, I used to do that. It is a good way of doing it, I must admit. You know, if you do your eyes, you get any fallout, you can have a good old clear out beforehand. But I must admit.
See, the thing that we're going to go on about the eyeshadows in a moment is that they don't have fallout. So so that's a bonus anyway. It's just that if you need to clean anything up in general, of like making things look a little bit sharper or anything like that, you don't want to be wiping away your foundation in general to do that. So I do generally like to do my eyes first. So how are you feeling with that foundation so far?
So far, so good. What I'm doing is just a small area at a time. I really, I kind of dived into it a little bit ill-prepared, like a little kiddie, because it's something new, I'm terrible when it comes to makeup, if I'm really honest. I should have really sectioned faces off and put it in, but I really wanted to give it a go. I mean, it feels very, very light, and it does dry quite quick, so I've got to move quite fast on it, if I'm really honest, on my skin, because my skin is a bit... dare I say, a bit old and a bit craggy and a little bit sort of absorbent. I have put some stuff on beforehand.
Yeah, see, we do amazing skincare as well. So if you're interested in things like the makeup itself, the skincare is amazing on its own as well. It's, again, everything cream based in our products contain the property Cineplex Plus, the formula Cineplex Plus. Now, what Cineplex Plus is it's a cellular renewal system. So what that's going to do while it's on your skin is it's going to start getting into your skin cells, which sounds a little creepy, but it gets into your skin cells. And what it will do is it will start helping to repair those skin cells over time and hydrate them up and plump them back out, which means that the more you use the skincare and the cosmetics, you'll find that you'll start having reduced look in fine lines and wrinkles. Yep. Which is what we all want when it comes to wearing makeup. Most makeup can end up aging you because of all the chemicals. Again, our foundations, our eyeshadows, everything is all natural. It's 98% natural, and there's only 2% science, and that's to help preserve the products. So it's fab stuff.
It is. It's going on well. What I'm doing is, normally, you see, I'm like a lot of people, when we start off, I ended up using sort of theatre type makeup, which is quite thick, because I suppose probably in my 20s and 30s, quite hirsute. It's got quite big bearded areas. So I needed a full coverage makeup. Now, I know this is coming across as quite a medium to full coverage as well, although it's quite thin in its sort of makeup sort of consistency, but its coverage is very good. So I'm twiggling away here. I've got cream beige here.
Cream beige.
Yeah. So I'm just popping it in all the way over. I know it's a little bit sort of haphazard. Don't worry if anybody's watching and they can see all these like corks going everywhere. I will put them into place and try and stretch the few years out of my face. I'm just going to say hi to a few people all the way in from Canada. Jean-Paul, so good evening to you. What else have we got? I think we're sort of a few other people will pop along as the evening goes along, I'm sure. I think they're probably, I'm probably putting a few of them off at this stage. Should come in with a warning. I should have put it on the front bit, but getting through this quite well. What I do like about it, it does dry fairly quickly, so I'm having to move quite quick, but I'm very good about that.
I think it's probably more of a case. I think it's probably more of a case because you've got the testers, whereas I have the pumps. Now, another
Oh, I see. You
thing that
wanted
I
to get
will
an
say,
advantage. Yeah. You see,
I've got an
you. Yeah,
advantage,
I
yeah.
got used
So
to
when
already.
you get them, they
Yeah.
come in a tube like this. Now,
Right.
the fab thing again is what you find with a lot of foundations is you end up with a lot of waste. It goes in the bin.
Yeah.
You end up losing that on product. As comes with an air pump.
Yep.
So you literally don't lose any product at all.
Yeah, you generally get a lot of it lost in the brushes. I'm using here sort of a fairly sort of synthetic sort of brush. I'm not losing any.
I like to use a kabuki brush when I do my foundation because I find it actually covers quite well, and again, you don't lose out on a lot of your product either.
Mm-hmm. I've got a few of those floating around here. I've got a whole table full of rubbish, and thankfully people can't see it. But
so you've also got candlelight. So if you need something that's going to act as a concealer.
Yes, that's what
right.
you popped in.
We do a range. Yeah, we do a range of concealers. But for me personally, I actually like to use my eyeshadow. Yeah, I like to use this eyeshadow.
That's a good thing. It's kind of getting the message over with cosmetics in general that because it's got lipstick on it, it's not just for lips. Any product that's sort of what I call unilateral or you can be used in many places has a big advantage as far as I'm concerned.
The eyeshadows have about 10 to 12 different uses. You can use them, obviously, if you've got the correct colours and things like that, you can use them as a brow product.
Mm-hmm.
You can use them as a bit of a light wear of mascara, eyeliner, obviously a shadow. You can use them as highlighters, blush, and you can even use them as lipsticks as well.
That was the first thing that struck me when I saw the products themselves all being in sort of the same format of tube. You know, and being a liquid or sort of a matte sort of finish on them. It was quite fascinating when I first opened them all up, you know. I thought, this is going to be interesting, to say the least.
So we're going in with purples today, aren't we?
Well,
we decided on the colours. You've got a few. I don't know if you're picking one or two. Or
I can't tell you really, can I? You know, I don't know myself. I
know.
As I say, these are a nightmare. Even for me, I'm going, what colour today? I've no idea. I've absolutely no idea. I'm clueless. I should really be well prepared for these things, but I never am. And that's why, you know, when I used to work on stage and that, the biggest amount of product I ever had was glitter. Because if everything went wrong, you just threw glitter on everything and then it just corrects everything. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I still have my little bit here. So I might use that later on if I can't make my mind up. But
okay, so I'm using the candlelight for a bit of concealer. I've got some friends that decide to pop out, you know, like as you do.
Yeah.
So I like to, again, use, like I said, the candlelight shade as a concealer. I've got quite dark eyes under my eyes as well. So again, it's going to be great to conceal all those dark circles.
Well, I happen to have some here, so I'm going to give it a go as well. Whee!
So you can see that it's covered up quite well for me. I'm also going to put it on the top of my lid. And if you dab it rather than, especially if you've got like breakouts and things like that and you want to cover up, dab over the colour then rather than smear it. Whereas obviously under your eye, you want to blend it out. So that's fine, quite easily blended.
So if you're using, I was just going to interrupt there. If you're using this also, it's primarily designed for an eyeshadow, what sort of finish would you normally get on it then? I'm going to find out in about 3 or 4 minutes, I'm sure. But what sort of textured finish would you expect?
For these, it depends again on, you can actually build your colours. So if you want quite a fine finish, sort of natural look, you can go quite light. Mm-hmm. So like I like to use it again as a bit of a primer on my eyes to lighten it out a touch.
Yeah.
So it will be quite a natural look. And then if you wanted to go darker and you wanted to have that proper cream finish, you can go in with more of a layer and just build up on it, and it'll have a nice matte finish. So we do have different ones. We have mattes, we have shimmers, we have glitters. So there is a range. And another thing that I absolutely love about the shadows as well is that you can actually mix them. So if you've got certain colors, so like a paint palette, you can actually mix your colors and come up with your own color if you like, for a particular night, and it's all your own. So that's all my coverage done. Okay.
going to sneakily start ahead of you.
Okie dokie. Okay.
Just...
I got people, so like I've got a group page. I'm on Facebook. So you can either come and see me, find me as Charlotte Hoey, or you can find me on my group page, which I've got two. I've got a business page, which is Yummy Lips VIP, or there is my main group, which I generally have a lot more interaction, a lot more product info and things like that, which is Yummy Lips VVIP. So if you can always find me on there and join me in my group. But yeah, I actually got them to pick my eye look for tonight.
Oh, so you've had outside influence. Me,
It's
only the voices in my head that help me these days, unfortunately. Even my therapist is getting worried. So I'm just going to start off. I'm just going to apply. What colour is this one? Lilac. I'm just going to see what it's like. It's coming up like. Now it does. I would put mine on my brush. I'm actually going to use that.
I was going to say,
go back properly.
If this is your first time, I will say gingerly go with your colours.
Okay, so I'm going to use the universal palette, which is the back of my hand.
Yeah. So a little goes a long way with these products. Like I'm going in with the shade Deep Plum.
Well, I'm actually gonna do the main part of my lid in probably you call it plasma pink shimmer.
Yeah.
I must admit my times 5 times 20 mirror here is not doing me the world of good, but we will do the best we can, peeps. Now it is going on nice and easy. Now I actually quite like using cream eyeshadows anyway, because I find that they all sort of buff out better and give you that sort of illusion, sort of soft filtered look. And I use them mainly for daytime, if I'm really honest.
So
nighttime. Go on.
I was going to say these are quite. I'd say these are quite good for any age group, because I know a lot of people are worried about if they're a little bit older and they're worried about having creasy eyes and things like this. These don't collect in your creases, so it is a bonus to these as well. If you just take your time and build it up, even when you're quite sort of like I am, a little bit sort of how would I say, facial's a bit worn, you can actually fill the creases in quite nicely. This is going on very easy. I'm lucky enough to have several brushes here, so I'm just going to put that one aside. I'm going to blend. Do you normally blend as you go along? Okay. You do have about a minute-ish before they start to set.
Yeah, I could feel it sort of drying out a little bit. Because I'm not used to the product, I'm taking it a little bit gingerly, and then like a mad fool, I'll probably just start throwing on with about 5 minutes to go. But I haven't gone into the socket line, which is normally what I would start off with, because I wanted to see the density of the colour. That's quite a nice colour. Now I want to use this one we got here. I think hit it. What is it? Plasma pink. Goodness me, I do need a new pair of glasses. That is a stunning colour.
That is a nice, gorgeous, sparkly pink.
Ooh, that is strong. This could be a favourite. Where are we? Nice little brush would be helpful.
So I'm just taking.
How is everybody in the cheap seats? How are we doing? Okay at the moment, everybody? Are we all? We still with us? Are we still worth watching, as they say? I've used a dramatic difference in the colours. I've used a light colour into the inside of my eye, just open my eye up actually. I'm just going to take it just to the outside of the eye. I don't know about you, but you know, over the years I just know where the angles are. I generally sort of put a fictitious line like so from your corner of your nose to the outside of the eye, and I was always taught that if it goes anywhere below that, that's dragging down. So if you want to age yourself, which you always do, of course, you want to look older than we really are, that's when you go below that line. But if you want to keep a bit of youth, you know, try and keep it above that line.
I think as well it depends on the kind of eye look itself as well, isn't it? Because some eye looks require that nice sharp angle. Some eye looks are just like the one I'm doing today is quite rounded. I
normally get the sellotape out.
Oh, yes. I've lost. Do you know what we were saying in my group? That I do have makeup tape somewhere, but it's gone walkabouts as makeup stuff generally does. Like I end up talking to my brushes.
Well, that's what you have. If you have kids as well, everything goes. Everything. I got a 21-year-old daughter that's got probably one of the best makeups sort of sets around because she just pinches mine. You know,
I know
hey Dad, you haven't got
mine's
this
not
anymore.
quite. Yeah, mine's not quite old enough for that just yet, but she does like her makeup.
Yeah.
So she will sort of, I don't know, sometimes she'll come in and she'll try and rob something at some point. Or she's done it a few times where I've gone on my lives and she'll try and recreate the looks I'm doing with her own stuff. But
Yeah.
she'll just go, she's like, oh, it's rubbish. It's not like yours. She doesn't like the powders. Okay, so yeah, just building these up. I'm also now gonna go, and once I've blended this one in a bit, I'm actually gonna go over the top of this because this isn't quite the right shade of purple I'm after.
So you're going for, you know, I'd love to know what I'm actually going for here, but at the moment I'm just trying to build it up and just see what's happening. It does dry quite quick. You've got to be quite active, haven't you?
Yeah,
really?
it's sort of. I mean, I know when I first started and I started using these, it was a whole new thing for me because I'm not a makeup artist in any way or form. I have rarely played with makeup before,
But honestly, that's the best way to learn. You know, because you've got a love or a real passion for it, and that's when you learn, I think.
Yeah, and I've learned a lot with these, and to be honest, I've also learned a lot from like my customers and my new friends that I've made through doing my makeup and things like that. Like they'll help me along the way with my makeup tips, and like I'll help them with makeup tips. It's all been like great fun.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is just keep hacking in there, isn't it? Just keep going.
Yeah.
Always just keep going because, you know, the worst thing I've always found working with people in general is that they will find something that works, or a product that works, or a style, whatever, and they'll just stick with it. They won't have any variation. They won't try anything new, and eventually it just gets old and staid.
Yeah, no, I know I've had a few people who go, they generally stick to the same colors, and I'll really say that I am guilty of that myself. I used to just stick to like the pale browns and the pale pinks. But I found now that I experiment so much in my group with different colors and different looks, and people are like, you can do this one this week and stuff like that. So it's been fun actually learning to go with different colors. Like I found like I really like green shades. Like green shades really shoot me, and I never ever sort of thought to go green.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's been fun actually learning and experimenting with colors.
Well, there is
the fact that these.
The thing a lot of people do, or when they start off. I mean, I was sort of guided towards using the color wheel, and matches and tertiary and primary colors and what goes with what, and all that does really, it does teach you an art. I mean, if you're a painter, it's fantastic, and that's what sort of makeup is really, sort of painting on yourself. But it can start to restrict your imagination. Yeah. I've more often than not, when I've done the best, when I've done something I'm really, really happy with or really, really like, I've got absolutely no idea how I got there with the colours, and sometimes I kind of think it's worth going into your palette and just pulling 4 or 5 colours out and going, they don't match, but I'll make them match somehow, just to keep yourself inspired and whatever it is.
It's quite fun really when you've got like, so we can. I could probably say to my group of customers and that, right, pick me 3 or 4 colours, and they don't have to match, and they will literally give me the ugliest colours going to put together, and you've sort of got to try and put it together somehow. And I think that's just the fun of it all really. At the end of the day with makeup, it washes off, it comes off. You could look like a right clown at the end of it, but it still washes off. Makeup never has to be serious, I don't think, and I think a lot of people have made it serious.
Well, I find it's interesting. I follow one particular person on YouTube, and she's brilliant because she's got such a weird sense of humour. It's probably a bit like my own, very quirky, and she makes more mistakes than she gets it right. But it's a bit like, you know it's going to come right in the end, and she always looks fabulous at the
Yeah.
end. She's just got that face that you go, oh my goodness me, how did she create
We-
that face?
We have a saying on my group now when I go live that we trust in the process.
Oh no.
We trust the process. So, and we actually always pull it off at the end somehow, but we trust the process. Like there's many a times where like I've had people go, I've come on and it looks like a right train wreck, but somehow at the end of it's come together somehow. And I was like, I know, I felt like that too. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's been fun.
Well, I used to have many years ago when it was politically okay. I used to have a saying, but it's not anymore because it's. I suppose I could repeat it. It's the Rolf Harris one when he used to do painting. You used to never see what it was until the very end. Can you see what's happening yet? And at the end, you'd see the whole picture. And it's a bit like doing your face.
Yeah.
I generally do my brows right near the end, but I just want a little bit more shape in here at the moment. Just for completeness, to let you know, I'm using a brow. It's actually a brow powder, just to go in rather than a pencil.
Yeah,
I always find
it was
pencils are a little
one
bit
of the
too hard
one
for me.
things I forgot to send you, isn't it?
Don't worry.
Brow product.
We can.
Yeah, no. Well, again, these are amazing for to use on your brows as well because they are water resistant. Your eyeshadows are water resistant, so you could literally go for a bath after or a shower, and your makeup should technically still be there as long as you haven't been sitting there rubbing it with oils. You'll be all right. Okay,
It's like
so
when
I've just
I
gone in
use,
with a bit of violet.
I'm so engrossed in doing this. I haven't even had a sneaky peek at what you look like yet. Oh, you're winning. You're winning. Now, the one thing I do notice is that normally when I put the foundation on, I end up wearing a sort of a powder puff here against my hand, like here, because it's wet. This isn't wet. It's a little bit tacky, but it's not wet, which is good.
Yeah, it takes a few minutes to dry, but it's once it's. I do love how it feels personally. I used to have a lot of breakouts with my foundations and things like that. And most foundations, when they tell you they're oil free, they're not. They've still got some form of oil in there. Since having these, other than stress itself, I don't get breakouts because of my foundation.
Yeah.
Which I love because it means that I haven't got it all the time. I'm going in with plasma pink under my eye.
You're going all the way, aren't you?
I am.
I'm going to have to up the game, you know, chaps. So any questions in the comments? I can try and just about read. Nothing's coming in at the moment. Oh, I'm glad we're still going. Yes. Trust the process. That's D. I've got the thing with all the comments in you can't see, so...
Yeah.
D. It sounds as though she's one of your regular followers. Yes, bless her. Thank you for joining us this evening. Right. So what other colours have I got here? I've got a dark one again. Yeah, let's build that one up the outside a bit more. It's all gone quiet over there.
It is.
You're concentrating,
aren't
you? You're taking this rather seriously. God,
I am.
Here was me thinking, oh, it'll just be light-hearted, and there'll be no. God.
Oh no, it is. It's.
Were you like this as a kid? Were you taking everything seriously as a child?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not actually a really serious person. I'm actually really laid back.
Yeah.
I think I'm just too busy looking at what I'm doing. Right. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with lavender shimmer. I'm just going to apply that over that lilac.
That's a hard word, isn't it? Lilac. It definitely needs to be stronger for me. So I'm going to go back in again. think what it is when you first, I think you probably get it a lot when you first try the product. You're a little bit wary about the strength because it comes off on my hand. I mean, it's got a lot of payload on my hand. Yeah, if you can see.
Yeah, well, it does. It comes out quite strong on your hand and things like that, and that's why it's sometimes it is better to try and take it off the wand itself, or if you've got a palette, put it on a palette and take it from the palette.
Now I'm going back in again. I've laid it up. This is the second layer. I can definitely see and feel the difference. It's running over the first coat well. And I can fade it in reasonably well. That's better. Oh, you always feel as though you should be talking about something as you're doing this, but I find it quite difficult to concentrate at the moment.
Yeah, no, there's a huge range of these colours.
What's the most popular ones at the moment for you and your team?
Colours in my group, generally the nude shades, the browns, the shades that most people will sort of generally wear on a day-to-day basis. But I think once people start sort of experimenting anyway in general, or when it comes to being able to go out again, I think they probably will go for the more bolder colours. So things like the nudes and the browns, some of the shimmers are really popular as well. Everyone loves the shimmers. But again, it's one of those, we have a lot of limited edition colours, and it's one of them, if you don't get them while they're in, there might be a chance that they might not come back, or it might take a few weeks before they come back in, because this company actually started off in America, and it started about 25 years ago. And they've done amazing over there. They've got I think they're quite well known in America.
Yeah.
Now, the lip colour, the lipstick itself, I believe was one of the first no smudge, no budge lippies created 25 years ago, and it started with one colour.
I think that's a good thing. It's that it is that sort of everlasting sort of lip stainy sort of lipstick that most people sort of want it in the evenings, particularly when they're sort of going out and they're eating, and you don't want to keep recharging your face, do you?
No, but the bad thing is it's not a lip stain either. So like where you get a lot of lipsticks where they are lipsticks, but they'll sort of they're more of a lip stain than a lipstick.
Yeah.
This is an actual lipstick that we'll be using. On top of that, they are hydrating, and they actually heal your lips as well. There's no like wax products in them or anything like that. There's no lead. And they'll last you a lot longer than your normal generic lipstick as well.
So that was the product that was all based on, I'm assuming. That was the sort of like the foundation of
I
the
think
product
that's
range.
where it generally started. I think it was the skincare and that to start off with. The woman who started off the company started off with the skincare and things like that. And that's obviously when she then started going into the lipsticks and finding that they were long lasting. And it's always been about like having healthy looking skin that's done naturally rather than through a lot of chemicals.
Yeah.
Again, like the eyeshadows, the foundations, they all have a protection in there as well, which is equivalent to like an SPF 15. Now, whereas SPF is a man-made product, it's got chemicals in it. Mm-hmm. As isn't, it's natural. It's made with it's made with sea algae, I believe, and it's literally like layering t-shirts. So where a lot of products, where it's like, for instance, like sun lotions and things like that, you can't actually layer your SPF protections. With these, you can. So you can layer up your foundation with your color corrected tinted moisturizer and your moisturizers and things like that as well, and you can actually build up your sun protection, so you can go from like a factor 15 to a factor 45.
Okay.
And you won't have to reapply. You won't have to, say, for instance, put sunscreen on, which again can clog up your pores, can again, it could be aging because of the chemicals itself. Although it's protecting you from the sun to prevent aging, again, it's not really totally doing that. So again, it's all natural. It's all good for your skin in general.
I'm finding the pencil very, very soft. Is it coal? Normal coal pencil?
It is like a soft coil pencil. Yeah. I'm just trying to blend that out a little bit.
I'm trying to do the same here, just trying to get my edges.
Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my candlelight quick and just sort of tidy up around my brows.
For those of you who are slightly squeamish, just hold on a minute. I'm going to try and do the inside of my eye, which always makes my eyes water.
So your eyeliner pencil as well, that is, once it sets, because that's another product that will set, it won't start collecting in the corners of your eyes. And again, it's going to be water resistant as well. So really, it should last you all day.
So good. It's got a good feel to it. We were discussing off camera really that there are a lot of sort of foundations and products that have a sort of a hidden, how would you say, vapor in it. None of this does, because my eyes are not watering. Normally I get sort of reddish eyes, and that's not the red I'm trying to get in there. It just happens to be nature's way of paying me back. Now I said that, I poke myself in the eye because I'm not paying attention. Goodness me. This will test if it's waterproof or not, because I've lost about half a gallon of water coming out of my right eye, chaps. Oh, nice one.
You okay?
Oh, I'll be okay. My face will be all over the place, but what the heck.
Oh, it shouldn't be.
Well, we do try. I'm just trying to get the line roughly even. Normally, off camera, how long does it normally take you to put your face on if you're sort of doing something fairly elaborate? What's your sort of time?
So if I'm doing something, like I've always done it, like any of my elaborate sort of makeup, I've always done it on my lives. It generally takes just over an hour.
Yeah, that seems to be the mark, doesn't it?
An hour and a half sort of thing. It depends, because it can be to do with, normally it's probably to do with the chatter and things like that, because you're reading the comments and you're interacting with people. So same as if you was probably doing your makeup at home and you're interacting with your girlfriends and things like that. You sort of generally take a bit longer because you're interacting. But yeah, no, it generally about just over an hour probably, I'd say.
Yeah, we've got the same. I'm a bit cheaty here because I'm using some black false eyelash sort of glue. So
yeah, well,
this is the only one
I'm gonna say.
Go on. I
was gonna say, I love the lashes that you passed to me. They are amazing. I can't put the buggers on.
No, seriously?
I can't put them on. I am useless. But I am going to be putting lashes on. But they're going to be magnetic lashes.
Oh, you cheat. I've not used them.
So
anybody out there used
easy.
them? Just drop it in the comments if you used them.
They are so easy.
Well, this must be the same as sort of similar thing. This is the only glue that I've ever found. The great thing is, I generally, as I'm going to be doing now, is I line the top of my eyes before I put my lashes on. So I'm going to have to sort of concentrate a little bit. But the black glue is by far and away the best. It's strong. The only negative side is a bit of a devil to get off. But if you do have decent makeup remover, it comes off easily. But the standard sort of stuff, it doesn't. But I have not yet used those magnetic lashes.
Oh no, I do. I mean, for me, I've always tried putting magnetic normal glue lashes on, and I always find they're quite weighty as well sometimes.
Well,
for some reason,
it's the one thing. There's two things. If I haven't got, I won't go out. Yeah, and that's my facelift tapes, because I won't put a face on without them because I'm too vain, and the other one is lashes, because they really, really do make your eyes pop. These ones I did send you were the Amazing Shine ones, and the reason why I like them is primarily because they're cheap as chips, but generally is they are really, really easy to put on. he says.
Okay, so I'm going to go in with my mascara now. So this is our Volume Intense mascara.
Which I have here somewhere on this little
It
desk
is
of mine.
absolutely the best mascara I've ever used. Because one, it doesn't feel cakey. It doesn't dry your lashes out. Your lashes don't feel crusty and horrible. I find that they're still very flexible, very soft to use.
Yeah.
A handy tip I should have probably told you at the beginning is you should have sat on it or thrown it down your bra or something. But that's a handy tip for most mascaras.
No bra on today.
That's a handy tip for most mascaras, because it helps to soften them and it helps it to apply a lot easier.
Okay, if you're going to share a tip, I'll share a tip as well then. When you take it out, don't pump it back in again.
Yeah.
Over one third of your sort of mascara is wasted because every time you keep pumping it in there, you're pushing air in there and drying it out.
Yeah, it also actually puts in a lot of bacteria.
Yep.
So you'll probably find that if you're suffering with a lot of eye infections and things like that, it's probably because your mascara is all funky.
Yeah. But
it should be replaced every 6. You have like a 6-month period on your mascaras.
Well, there should be a European date marking on the boxes for any cosmetics that you buy.
Well, talking about that, actually, you know your eyeshadows?
Mm-hmm.
Most eyeshadows have about 6 months use by date, and that's the palettes and things like that. You have an expiration date of 6 months.
Yep.
Eyeshadows will last you, once they're open, 3 years.
Yeah, I have the same with one of the foundations I use. It's 24 months, 2 years. But yeah, I think a lot of people just ignore it. I mean, I've known people have sort of lipsticks and eyeshadows. And they say, "Oh, this is about 5 years old," and I go, "Really? 5 years?
Yeah,
wonderful,
it's.
Can we put a culture plate on it and see what's growing?"
Yeah, no. To be fair, I was very, very, very guilty of that myself.
But I think most people are when you pay a reasonable amount of money for your.
So with the eyeshadows and that, you've got a good 3 years before you'd need to sort of worry about getting rid of them.
Yeah.
So your mascara as well, this does have your usual use by date of mascaras, which is about 6 months. But this is a fiber-free mascara. It also contains something in it called Capixyl, which actually helps to stop the fallout of your lashes. And it will help your lashes to get thicker and longer over time. I say longer, it grows to your fullest potential. So the length that your lashes should get to is half how much it will grow. And then you'll find that your lashes will get thicker because your lashes aren't falling out as often.
Gonna have to lift up a bit. The wand on it's quite voluminous, isn't it?
Yeah, well, see, you've got the waterproof version. I've got the non-waterproof. So the non-waterproof is quite thin, whereas you've got the waterproof version.
Yeah. Without being too crude, it looks like a bog brush. It's very, but it's very, very, it's very easy to coat the lashes. I'm sorry if I'm obscuring the camera here, but I need to lift up. Do top lashes push up and bottom lashes look down, because to give yourself a bit of a 3D view of your eye. Because what I used to find, I was always coating my bottom ones and ended up with a big tram line underneath before I started looking down. So it doesn't make for great TV, but it doesn't. What it means.
So even with your one, which is a waterproof version, you should feel that your lashes still feel. These actually dry again quite fast, so you should feel that your lashes still feel quite soft after applying.
Yeah, so far so good with these. I'm not having any adverse reactions to any of the product itself. It's going on easy. It's drying quite. That's the thing that gets me. Surprisingly, for a cream, it dries quite quick, but it gives me plenty of time to blend it all together, which is great.
Yeah.
So I'm reasonably happy with the top bit here. I'm going to probably smoke out a little bit more. Okay. Just see how we're doing. I've got a pencil here. It's somewhere, have I? Yeah. I'm just going to push out the outside of it.
I'm going in with my lashes. And then I'm going to do my foundation. And then we'll talk lipstick.
Ooh.
Love the lipstick.
Well,
okay.
I'm going to wait a bit, see if I can read some of the comments while you're going ahead.
Yeah, so as I said, these are the magnetic lashes, so they come with the liquid liner. So I'm kind of cheating with a liquid liner here.
You cheat. Gosh, it's win-win-win for you, isn't it?
I know. But
well, I am going to put a little bit of glitter on because I can while I'm waiting. Because you can't do a face without a bit of glitter.
You can't.
Is there any glitter sort of in the range at all that you have?
Yeah, we have a few glitters in the eyeshadows. You actually have a glitter which is just a glitter.
Yeah, was it a milled
and then
fine
you have,
glitter?
It's I'd say it's like a fine glitter. I'd still recommend if you do put it on, personally, because I find it's the way to either mix it with another color, like a similar color, or layer it on top of a color. Yep. Purely because I think glitters irritate your eyes anyway in general.
Well, it depends what it is. I mean, if it's what I call pillow glitter, you know, so fine. What I've seen people do, which is totally wrong, is go to a craft shop and use that sort of fine glitter there, and that's like glass. That'll cut your eye open. But if you use a very fine pillow, you know, highly ground one.
Yeah, I mean, these are quite good. I just personally think it's, I find it feels nicer when I have it layered on top of another colour.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I've used Vaseline, you know, and just mixed it all in with that and let it all dry and do all sorts to give you a little bit of a shine on it. Yeah. I'm so far away from the camera. If I get any closer, I'm going to break it, I think. Here we go. Now, unlike you, because I've seen you use this lipstick, that was what sort of drew me in originally to sort of contacting your good self.
Yeah.
You've got a very, very steady hand, and I just don't have a steady hand. So what I'm going to do, while you're doing your foundation, is I'm just going to draw the outside of my lips and put some line in and just feather those in, because there ain't no way that I can apply it straight off the wand. This is when it goes all quiet here and you want some moody background music, don't you?
Yeah. This is where you never get one eye the same as the other, because you know, well,
they're brothers and sisters, you know, not identical twins, is what we were always told. But you sit there, don't you? Try and balance an imperfect face out, and it just looks worse.
That'll do. That'll do. So we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to go in with our magnetic lashes.
You know
while that's drying, I'm going to go in with my foundation.
I have this odd feeling here, you know, putting magnetic lashes. When I first saw them, I thought, was it two pairs that you just clunked together like this, you know, north and south? But it's in the liquid,
to be honest,
isn't it?
there was some out there that were like that, where you got two lots and they clumped together over your lashes. But with these ones, they generally, you put the eyeliner on and then you just literally like let it attach to itself.
So it's obviously something in the fluid?
Yeah, I'm assuming there's little magnets in there, you know, like that would attract it to itself, I suppose.
Yeah, I can just imagine going through airport security, can't you? And setting it off.
I know, yeah.
I remember doing that once before. I travelled to Vegas, and we were going through the scanners there, and because I had something on the breast forms, they set it off. So they said, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I said, "Well, hang on a minute." And so I just lifted the top off and took the boobs out and put them on the floor. And I said, "It's those." And you should have seen the faces of the guards when they were absolutely amazed. Because I thought, well, you can't embarrass me, but
yeah. But as I said, like, so even your foundation, you'll find it color corrects 3 shades up and 3 shades down as well. So once it starts to settle to your skin tone. So like I said, I love this foundation.
Well, that's why you have to do it on yourself, because you know, if you just look at it in a bottle, it does change, as you say, 2 or 3 shades quite readily because of all the pigments you've got in your own skin.
Do you know what I've just realised?
What have you done?
I just realised you're doing your lips, and I need you to clean them.
Is that convenient? Oh dear, I forgot. Oh dear. You and I are going to fall out, before the end of this.
Have you watched enough of my lives yet to realise what I'm like?
I should have read the small print, shouldn't I, really? Let's be honest.
You should have.
Right, that's it. Goodbye, I'm off. Now, my lips are pretty dry anyway.
Yeah. It's more or less just to make sure that there's no other products on your lips that are cream-based or like oils or anything like that.
No.
It's just, as you know, like most of the time with lipsticks and that, you want to have a clean lips anyway.
Yeah, normally what I do is, believe it or not, I've got old toothbrushes and I just generally agitate that area first to get rid of the dry skin. It also pumps the volume in because it makes the blood cells rush a bit more. There's all sorts of old sort of daft tricks in there you can use to plump your lips up.
Yeah, so with these lip colours, you do need to make sure your lips are clean and dry. Sorry, Sophie.
It's okay. Now you're going to tell me, and by the way, you put this underneath, you do that. Ladies and gentlefolk, this is exactly what not to do. So if you don't follow the bits I'm doing... Oh, that's very clever.
Okay.
Yeah, left a bit, right a bit. Oh no, down a bit.
Up, down, left.
Down there. Bernie the bolt, not bad. You're doing well for somebody that doesn't like putting the lashes on. You're doing well.
Huh?
You're doing well for somebody that doesn't like putting them on.
That's because these are so easy to put on.
So you're gonna recommend.
And the thing is, I know as well, if they go in the wrong place, I can just take them off and move them.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, the ones I've got on are double density ones because normally I'd stack them, put one on and then put another one on the top.
Okay.
Which is, what a lot of the drag queens do anyway. They keep stacking them up. So this is why their lashes look like they're out here somewhere. Double dimension. But these are, what I gave you a DB20s, so it's double 20s.
Yeah.
So can I just apply the lipstick? Now, the colour I've got on the lipstick is
Purple Rain.
No.
Purple Rain, I've sent you because it's one of my favourites as well.
Okay.
I think I think as well from the lipsticks I've seen you wear as well, it's the kind of shade that I think you would like too, personally. Oh, hang on. Right, eyes are on.
Whoa, she's looking good.
Right, okay, so before you put your lipstick on, give it a good shake. This is where bingo means.
What have I got to give a good shake? Oh, the lipstick, okay.
Lipstick.
Shake my head. Oh, it's got a little ball in it.
It's got a little ball in it. The reason for that is because this is an all-natural pigmented colour.
Yep.
And it's got an SD40 clinical grade alcohol in there. And that helps to, one, bond the colour to your lips.
Yep.
And two, it's going to keep your lipstick bacteria free. So that is why your lipstick's going to last you at least 3 years.
So does this mean does this mean I can put it on? It's going to stay on there for 3 years. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah. So what you do, so when you apply it, it goes on in 3 thin layers. You want to make sure your lips are stretched out. So you not like that. You're going to go on the inside of your waterline as well.
Yeah.
So inside your lip.
Yeah.
And you're going to go, as I said, one direction only. Don't let your lips touch. And I'm going to get you to try and not to slurp.
How am I going to remember all of that? You need an instruction sheet about this. Go on, one at a time. Let's do it together then. So I've shooken this one and told my arm is going to fall off.
So undo. This is a gorgeous pink shade. So you're going to go one direction.
Yeah.
Do not go backwards and forwards. So.
Okay. What happens if you do? Does it explode or something? Or... Right, let me go. Okay, chaps, here we go.
Okay. You can line it as well with the tip of your wand. Now, the reason why you don't go backwards and forwards is because of the alcohol that's in there. It's similar to like a whiteboard marker. So a whiteboard marker, if you go backwards and forwards, you scrape away the colour. The same thing will happen here. So you need to go one direction.
Okay, I can smell the alcohol.
It'll have a slight tingle, especially if your lips aren't in the best condition, but it'll go quite quickly. That will not last. So the longer you wear it as well, the like say if you wore this in like 2 or 3 days, you won't feel that tingling sensation no more, because the alcohol also helps to break down any waxy buildup that you've got on your lips that occur naturally from wearing normal lipsticks.
Gotcha.
So you might find maybe the first day or two that you do wear it, especially if you've not given your lips a good scrub, that they might be a little bit grainy. They'll start going a little bit grainy towards the end, but it's generally just because of the waxy buildup. Okay. It's just a change from going from a wax to a liquid lip colour. So again, top lip. So you'll find as well these won't bleed.
Okay, you can't cut your lips together.
Can't stick your lips together.
Okay.
This is like learning to talk like a ventriloquist is going to come in handy. She done it. So let it dry. Make sure it's totally dry before you go in with your next layer, because if it's still wet, again, the same thing's going to happen. You're going to take color away. So the best way to test it is just touch it. If it feels tacky to the touch, if it's not, it feels dry, you can go in again with your next layer.
I'm going to use a brush. So a little bit of practice is required.
Yeah.
However, I can feel it on my lips. I must admit, I can feel it.
But it'll have like a sort of, you'll find the more you use these as well, the more your lips will plump out. Again, make sure you get in that outer line and then let that dry.
Oh, I hope my dentist isn't looking. I do like the colour. It's very much, to me, it's Dita Von D makeup. Very similar.
Okay.
Very similar. But how many coats you got on?
2.
Crew, okay.
2. We've got 2.
Right way round, thank you.
It is.
I know. So thank you very much, because we don't want to go getting banned.
Okay, so then this is the 3rd layer now. It's a little bit tingly.
I should do it. Also feels like my lips is doing an Elvis. But the depth is very good. The depth of colour is very, very good. I've got to...
It varies on colours, because we have shimmer colours and things like that. So depending on the colours, some colours you can just go in with 3 colours, which is like this one. This is a matte colour.
Yeah.
You have the shimmer colours. Those, depending on those, you might need 4 layers of colour. So once you've got your 3 layers on, 3 layers, you're gonna need your glossy gloss. Gonna need your glossy gloss. So,
ooh, this is very.
If you ever buy these lip colours, you're gonna need it as a 3-part system, and that is because you need the glossy gloss, because that's gonna help seal in this colour, and it's gonna be what helps this to last a lot longer. It's gonna help hydrate, heal, and like literally just make your lips feel amazing. And then you've got to have oops remover, which is what you're going to need to remove it at the end of the night. It takes just as many times to take off as you put on.
Now she tells me.
Right, but it's not a lip stain, so your lips won't be stained after.
You're very good at not putting your lips together. You must have done this a fair few times.
Yeah, it's kind of like habit now.
Yeah.
So once it's dry,
Uh-huh.
it's still a little bit tacky at the top for me, but once it's dry, you're gonna seal it off with your glossy gloss. Don't mix the two up.
Yeah.
Your oops and your glossy. Yeah, put that one to one side. We have had it a few times, and one of my best friends done it. She phoned me up and she was like, "This lipstick's not lasting. You told me lies." And I was like, "What? Like, I can't work it out." And then figured it out. She went phoning back and she was like, "I'm really sorry.
Yeah, using the wrong one.
I was putting oops remover." So you're gonna go in with your glossy, so nice white stick, and just apply it on as you would any normal gloss. Check out the end. And then you can smush.
Very impressive, because none of it's come off on the tip, which is always a good indication.
And then another way to do it.
You paint a bit on your teeth. Just down there. Just no.
Yeah,
Oh.
So you can check it and go, and you will find out that it's no smudge, no budge, and it doesn't come off.
I'm not going to try that one yet.
Still not sure.
I don't trust myself. It's not the product,
so these will last you anywhere between 4 and 18 hours. So the more you wear these lipsticks, the longer it's going to last you, because it's getting your lips into a really good condition for it to last that long. So where you would normally wear waxy lipsticks and things like that, it's creating a barrier on your lips, which can basically start drying your lips out and that anyway. But with these don't contain wax. Even the glosses don't contain a wax, so your lips are still able to breathe. And ooh. So yeah,
that's good.
So
really good.
the more you wear them, the better condition your lips will be in. That tingling sensation that you get from the very first time of using it, that is literally the first time you use it. I don't get that anymore myself, unless I find that my lips are quite dry and cracked, which I very rarely find, because I'm always wearing the glossy. So the glossy, or you can wear on its own as well, where it's bared, whatever you want to do if you want to get your lips in really good condition. Contains shea butter and vitamin E, so it's really good for healing your lips. And what you'll find as well is it'll start helping to reduce any fine lines and wrinkles that you might have around your lips. So your lips will also start to plump back out, because the cells in your lips degrade over time through age. It actually helps to plump those back out.
I just want to cut in across here. I'm just reading a comment. D, there's the slurp. I think she must have been waiting for that. She must have been waiting for that. Bless her.
Yeah.
What I've got at the moment, I explained at the moment, I put a roof on, because I've got the top, and I've got foundations in. What do you use to connect? In other words, what are you using for highlighting and contouring?
So again, the eyeshadows. So we have got pearlizers. So we can use those. So I've got pearlizer here. So I've got mini pearlizer in Moonstone.
Right.
I've got pearlizer in Firefly. So that's like, you can use that as a blush if you wanted to. And you've got Ember, which you could use as a highlighter. Again, your eyeshadows, because they're so versatile, again, you can use those as a blush if you wanted to, or highlighters, or bronzing. We also do something called blush scents, which I'll put some on now. They come in little liquid form as well. And again, a small amount.
I was going to say, could you drive in any of this lip scents, the same colours we use for lips? Because normally what I do is when people have trouble making their minds up, because the way I look at it is that, colouring is generally a circle of colour. You go around your face, so it all blends in together. Yeah. Some people have a real difficulty in finding a colour that will match the lips and the eyes. So I generally say, well, if you stretch your lipstick, could you stretch your lipstick?
So what
when I say that, I'm
the
going to try
lipstick
it anyway.
itself, I wouldn't put the lipstick on your face,
right?
Like a
because
normal lipstick. Yeah? And no, you can with a normal waxy lipstick. You could probably use that as a blush or something like that. because of it being no smudge, no budge, literally if you was to put a line on your face, it's going to be there.
Okay.
You can use, say for instance, like I'll go in with Plasma Pink Shimmer. I'll use that as a blush.
Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the, what did I use here? Plasma Pink Shimmer. Is that what you've got?
So I'm going to do the same.
Oh no, I'm going to change them. Yeah. I'm not going to be accused of copying. What else have I got?
And you literally just apply that and then blend it out.
I've got another colour or two here in a minute. Oh, I'm going to have to use that one because that's the nearest I got.
So I actually prefer to take it off the wand.
Yeah.
It sort of spreads out a little bit easier as well.
Just do it on my arch, I've got quite defined cheekbones normally. Yeah, it's going to run if I'm quick enough. Yeah.
See, you've got the advantage of having new shadows as well, whereas mine have been used and abused.
Oh, we're evening the score up a bit then.
Yeah. So again, you can use your eyeshadows. So in some ways, if you like, your eyeshadow is going to take over from where you'd say like you do your lipsticks instead. Do you know what I mean? So it's going to be that way.
Well, they do push in quite easily, which is nice.
And then you can even use, I'm going to go in with the lavender shimmer as a highlighter.
Just deafened everybody by whacking the mic, just to make sure everybody's awake. I haven't done any contouring of my rather large nose on the inside or anything else like that, but I think that would have been pushing it, trying to do that as well.
So I did use it as well, the lavender shimmer. I did use that under my brow as well as a highlighter. It's got a nice shimmy. I like the shimmy shimmies.
It catches the light well. It does. Just going to put a little bit of my chinny.
So yeah, so I normally go in with a colour called Rustic Brown for my brows. Yep. Again, that's an eyeshadow. So like I actually use my eyeshadows more than I use probably the blushes and the other stuff. We do also have something called translucent powder. So this again as well, even though these are oil-free foundations, if you have quite naturally oily skin in general, even though these are obviously oil-free foundations, if your skin's oily, it's always going to be oily. These are going to actually help to absorb those. And even if you have quite normal to dry skin, it's not going to dry them out either. It's still going to keep it quite natural. So we do have these in 3 different shades, and there's a bronzing dust, so you could use that as a bronzer highlight, like to do your contouring and things like that. Silver Rose is quite nice to as a bit of just a touch of nice blush color.
Yep.
And then there's like a translucent one as well, which is basically what you would put all over your face, and they have a nice shimmer to them as well. I've always said I'm quite honest about the products that I use, and the one thing I don't like about these is the brushes. So if you do have a different little pot somewhere, try and put some in a pot and use your own brushes, because I personally don't like the brushes.
What I found with the foundation, it didn't really need translucent powder to sort of set it. I didn't really need anything to set it. I've just used a sneaky bit of highlighting powder. Sorry about that, chaps.
Yeah.
Just to seal it anyway, all the way around here, just to get the reflection on here. I didn't come toward nose and everything else.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you don't have to sort of, I know we've sort of gone on with these products and that, but again, we've done like a full face using these products. maybe they're not for everyone. Maybe people have a brand they particularly like for the foundations, for example, or something like that, and they want to change on the eyeshadows. They want something that is like quite high pigmented and that's going to last and going to be no smudge, no budge. And this will be something that they might enjoy using. Everyone has a drawer full of makeup and it's from different brands and different companies. No one says that you have to use every single one of our products. You don't. I've never pushed people to buy from me. I always say, if you're interested in the product, you come to me. If you want to get to know me better, you can come and join me in my group. And I go live pretty much quite often on my profile page as well. So people can come and chat to me there too. And I've made quite a lot of friends that way too, which is more the reason. I mean, that was the main reason I came and started doing this, to be fair. As I explained to you before the live, I was quite reclusive. I was really quiet, didn't have much confidence. And when I got the products, I loved them. I wanted the discount. And it was quite a big discount, even if you were just buying a particular product. But then once I joined, I was like, to be honest, I'd like other people to see these products. And then I was like, okay, I also want to start making new friends. And the only way to do that, especially with lockdown, is obviously start getting yourself out there. And the only way you can do that now is by actually socializing on like Facebook and
it's a great medium, isn't it, to get out there and help people and do things and have a bit of fun at the same time.
I have to say that, like, since I've started doing this and joining this company, that I've always said I don't do this for the money. I never have. I love the products. But the thing that I've made out of it most is my friends. And that's meant more to me than anything else. So if there's anyone who ever wants to chat and talk about makeup, you can by all means come and chat about makeup. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be products per se. But I do genuinely love these products. I think they are the bomb, personally.
I really do like the lipstick. It's very, very dry. It's got a nice sort of feel about it. Colour's very dramatic. I have to have a look at the reds in that because they're always nice as well. I'm just going to stick a little bit of a head on.
The reds are amazing. So
let me put a head on first. I've got one here somewhere. Where is one? Oh, here she is over here. Hang on a second.
Okay. So we'll do that in a sec then. Okay, so I'm going to put my wig on.
Yes.
I'll match.
There.
Because we've gone purples. Get a bit of a facelift now.
Yeah, those bands are quite neat, aren't they? They are quite neat. Yeah, do give you a mini facelift at the same time.
Okay.
The only thing I haven't got is a brush, but never mind. Oh, yes, we have. Oh, no, we haven't. There we go. Pear. Oh, purple as well.
Purple.
Purple. There we go. That's slightly less shocking, I think. Well, I do like the hair.
It's all straight.
Yeah. I think we got through that reasonably well between us.
Yeah.
Thumbs up for everybody for watching and tuning in.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope it was enjoyable for some of you.
So you're going to do your lipstick test on your glass?
Oh, yes. I've got one here. Look, one glass. So, let's just try. Oh, look at that. This dishwasher will love me this evening because normally I've got to leave most of it on there. It is water, gentlemen and ladies. And those of us yet to make our minds up. It is. It's definitely water.
Is it, isn't it?
Mind you, if I keep drinking it all, I might not be able to prove that. That's fantastic.
So eyeshadows.
Yeah.
They're no budge, no smudge.
Yeah, I've got to scrub this off a bit later on. Yeah.
Eyes as well. So the way I personally take my makeup off is we do a range of makeup removers. We do makeup wipes and we do a makeup remover itself. I don't like the makeup remover. I don't think it feels very nice. It's quite harsh on my skin personally, so I don't like it. The makeup wipes are quite good, but I find for value for money, they're quite expensive. But the one thing, although it is a little bit expensive, is the shea butter. So our shea butter is amazing stuff.
Yeah.
A little tiny amount of this goes a long way, and I find that is a lot with a lot of our products. A little bit goes a long way. So one of these tubs, I mean, I do makeup on my lives quite often. I do face art with the eyeshadows because I think they're quite good for doing face art and things like that. So if you're looking for Halloween parties or fancy dress and things like that, these products are really good. But to get it off.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing about it being on is, and it stays on, is fantastic. But you need something to get it off quick. A lot of our clients, they've got to get things off fairly quickly sometimes. And
again, that will contain our Seniplex Plus, which is absolutely amazing for actually helping to reduce those fine lines and wrinkles. It is amazing stuff. So like I said, I do face art and I do my makeup like twice a day because I do it in the morning when I go to work. I'll then wash it off and then I'll do my lives most days. So I do my makeup like twice a day. And that means I'm taking my makeup off twice a day, which means I'm going to go through a lot of products. But this will last me over 3 to 4 months doing it twice a day.
Right.
And that's even doing face art. So you might need a little touch more when I'm doing face art. So if you think about how long this is actually going to last you, if you're taking your makeup off once a day, it's going to roughly be about 6 months. So for me, that is one of like the best buys as well when you're buying these, like especially the eyeshadows and things like that, because you want something that's going to come off easy. However, saying that, I will be honest, and I will say that any oil-based remover should get your makeup off quite easily.
Yeah.
But yeah, with your lipstick, it'll be your oops remover. You definitely need your oops remover.
I've got my oops remover. So I'm not going to shot blast myself in the shower in a minute. But before I do disappear, you were saying you're live on Facebook. Is it most evenings? Give yourself a good old shout out.
Yeah, I go on most evenings. Like during the week, I go on at least 4 or 5 times a week. Generally, like Mondays, we have movie makeup Monday. So I will generally find a film and do makeup to do with the film. That could be a face art or just a makeup look itself. Then generally during the week, it's just either going with something bold or something natural. It's what everyone chooses and like to see me do. If there's new colours in, I'll obviously show the new colours as well if I've got them in. But yeah, generally I go on a few days a week. And
you do some competitions as well, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, we do raffles. I do raffles in the group because generally, obviously, some people might not want to fork out all the money, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But the best way to try and get it is obviously to try and win it. So we do like lip kit raffles and eyeshadow raffles and skincare raffles and things like that as well. So if anyone wants to try and win themselves the products, that's one way of doing it as well before they actually generally buy. But there's always samples as well, that we do samples. The only thing we don't do samples in is the lipsticks and the eyeshadows and like generally cosmetic stuff.
Yeah.
We do it in the foundations. We do it in the color corrected tinted moisturizers. And we do some of the glosses as well, because the glosses come in variant shades as well. So the glosses come in samples. But yeah, the skincare is amazing. It's definitely one of the things that you've got to try if you can. But yeah, most of the stuff you can get as samples, like pearlizer foundation as well, you can get as samples, which is really good. So yeah.
Brilliant.
And they're all free as well. So if anyone does want to try it, they can just give us a message and say they'd like to try blah, blah, blah. And it's free for them to try the samples.
Okay, we've got your email address on the screen there, but if you want to shout something else out with your Facebook page and things like that before we go.
Yeah, so my Facebook page is Charlotte Hoey, and that's Charlotte Hoey, Hoey. And I've got my group page, which is Yummy Lips VVIP, which is generally where the raffles and things are, where most of the action goes on for finding out about products and things like that. And I do have a sales page, but I generally don't go on there very much, but you can still find me on there. And that's Yummy Lips VIP.
Fantastic. So, yeah. Well, I think that's about it, unless there's anything else you'd like to Cover?
No, I think that was okay.
I think we did okay between us. We didn't lose
Yeah.
everybody, which was nice. There's still some people hanging around. So that was a nice sign. Well, thanks very much, Charlotte. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's been.
I wish you all the luck.
It's been good.
And hopefully we'll catch up again in a few months' time as well. See how it's all going.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Definitely.
Well,
and hopefully we can see each other in person one day. For sure.
Yes. My goodness me. Yeah, Manchester would be a good meeting point, wouldn't it? But goodness me, yeah. Hopefully we can all get out and show the world what these actually look like in real life. So,
and actually go out and go clubbing and like wake up in the morning. Preferably don't do it, but you wake up in the morning looking just as good as you did going out.
Yeah, I always used to say going out.
You might lose you might lose an eyelash or something, but your makeup will stay on.
Fantastic. I'm going to say goodbye and close down the stream for now. And thank you everybody for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure
thank you so much.